Yes, it is this time of the year, but before we move on to the films and stuff and the upcoming videos, we'll first talk about the top 10 seasons or series this year, in TV anyway. Starting with Outnumbered Series 5. Yeah, this was something that I couldn't wait to see. The kids growing up. This series, however, was a big letdown. And this was mainly due to the fact that the kids were a lot older. The jokes just weren't as good. What made the original 3 or 4 series work was just how young they were. The two main children. The older brother was fine, but the two younger children were the ones that sort of made it. They brought this whole family young. It just worked, and it made it really relatable. Well, this one was relatable. It doesn't really work as much as a comedy. I'd say it seems more like a teen drama at points, if you get what I mean. However, it still was good. It still made me laugh a lot, so I can't really complain. Well, I just did, but still. Let's just move on. Number 9. Doctor Who Series 8. Yeah, this I think this was really hard to top after last series, Series 7, with just this epic last series for Matt Smith. However, this one, the reason this probably would be lower on the list, this may not even have been on the list if it wasn't for the new Doctor, Peter Capaldi. He's definitely became one of my favourites. However, the stories didn't really work as well. I think that's mainly because usually what they were trying to do here is they were trying to get a lot of people, the new people in, because Doctor Who's becoming really popular, and they're trying to get more and more people. So when a new Doctor came, they obviously would obviously make it easier for anyone to just wander in any episode, and it kind of made it. The episodes themselves were pretty good. There were some. It wasn't as good. I think that was the main thing. Last series only had one bad episode, in my opinion. This one there was a couple, and I kind of started to not like Clara as much, which was quite annoying because I quite liked her in the 7th series. So the thing is, Peter Capaldi just made this series work, and he's probably the best part about it. Number 8. Fargo. Okay. Martin Freeman. Yep, that's pretty much all you need to know. Martin Freeman and Billy Bob Thornton in this show just makes this season work. I'm not sure if they're going to do another one. It'd be a bit weird, I guess. Really make you wonder about the stuff that happened in Fargo. If they can make like multiple seasons out of it. But I think this is just a 1 season thing. And it was really good. It worked really well. There were some slow episodes. Most of the episodes though were like fast paced, and the acting. This is something that you need to watch for the acting. Just off of Billy Bob Thornton and Martin Freeman, those two just. Here's the bar, and they push through it. If you got that reference, you're awesome. But yeah, it genuinely worked. And like I said, watch this for the acting, and it's really shocking what happened. So this is based off of a true story of this show. So yeah, give it a watch. Number 7, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1. Yes, this season I actually liked it. It had some problems, yes. It had a slow start, yep. But it really worked. And that's the main thing about this season. Like, it started off it had a really shaky start, but soon, about halfway through, it just kept on getting better and better and better and better and better and better until I had no idea how it managed to get so good. I mean, the characters started to really matter, and everything that happened, it just kept on becoming more interesting. It became so much more intense. The acting wasn't as forced, the character relationships weren't as forced, the characters weren't as annoying, everything just worked. Even the threats became more interesting. Like, you started to then get people, like, and the way it tied into all the different films, especially Winter Soldier, that, yeah, it's amazing. Number 6. I'm not gonna lie, I did watch this series for the police van crash, which was what it was advertised with. I had no idea what was happening. All I knew was John Sim was in it and a police van crashed and it looked amazing. You just see it flips up off of it. That is worth watching, this series alone, but yeah, this is so much more than just to watch an amazing police van crash. It's a mystery, basically. Someone killed this guy's family and now he's trying to find out who done it. He's been framed. So it's all about him trying to figure out who done it, why, all these different reasons, and people who betraying him, backstabbing him, he's finding new people. It's only 3 episodes and it is worth every second. It is amazing. It had me. This is one of the shows that I would just run down and I would just go and watch instantly. It just had that effect on me. I found it really interesting. Number 5. Sherlock Series 3. I think this shows how tough this list is now, since Sherlock Series 3 is number 5. This one was, however, disappointing. But it's the same with Doctor Who. There was no way they could make it as good as Series 2, which had 3... It's possibly the best series ever created. It just went from start to finish. It just went with, and it wouldn't slow down. It kept on going faster and faster and faster. And despite the fact that there were like 3.5 episodes, you just went through it light speed. This season, the series focused a lot more on comedy, which I found a bit irritating. I kind of wanted it to focus more on the intensity of the second series, but for some reason, I think there was quite a lot of the fans enjoyed the comedy part of it, so they definitely focused on that. The first 2 episodes were basically a massive laugh throughout. But in the 3rd episode, the final episode, which was, it was just when they let it go and they went like really intense, and back to the incredibly smart, intense mystery that Sherlock Series 2 had, and it just worked massively. Especially one scene, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a massive shock and one of the characters basically gets shot, and that scene is fantastic. Like, oh my god, I was on the edge of my seat it's like on for like 10 minutes, that just one scene when that character gets shot, and it just, I couldn't stop watching it. It's so intense, that bit. I love it. It's what made Sherlock in my opinion. Number 4, Arrow Season 2. Okay. Arrow Season 2, this is kind of the same with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It started off a bit shaky, but as it went on, it got so much more intense, and it really... Except the reason that this is so much higher than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is because it didn't take as much time for it to become really good. Like, it was already at good level when it started, but it just went to amazing, and like really quickly, within the first few episodes I was hooked again, and I think I watched them all within like a really short period of time, since I was catching up for Season 3. But yeah, it's really good. It's incredible. The actor who plays Slade Wilson, otherwise known as Deathstroke, is fantastic. I cannot stop watching this guy, and John Barrowman, as always, is awesome. Stephen Amell, he's really good as Arrow. It's a lot more a darker take on the Green Arrow than in the comics, but I still love to watch it. And one of the things I like about this is that they still bring in all these other characters. It's really interesting to see this, and the Barry Allen episodes were really good as well. Really well introduced that character for obviously the Flash to come in. Well, it's already came in. I've watched. Well, it's on the mid-season break. Number 3, Bates Motel Season 2. Yeah, I had to include this. I'm sorry, I had to. This show is so good. It's so good. I don't know what that was. It's genuinely so. It keeps you. I am a massive fan of the film cycle, and this series just works perfectly. You're now starting to see the characters, like the main character, become like what it becomes in the film, and it's so damn interesting. First season, it started to build up the events, and I'm not really want to spoil it because it's possible that some of you may have not seen the cycle, but the events, it doesn't really show you what he becomes. It doesn't even hint at it. But in this one, they start dealing with it a lot more. It's uncomfortable as hell, and it is amazing just to see when he just becomes what he becomes. You see it only for a brief second in one scene, and it's glorious, and it is so damn intense this season. It focuses on like a drug war, and everybody's taking like hits at each other, and it's really damn intense. You need to give this show a watch if you haven't already. Okay, let's now move on to the obvious ones. Number 2, Walking Dead Season 4. Was there any surprise? The start of this show, this is one of my favourite TV shows, but in the start of it was a bit, nothing really happened, but then it started to get better and better. Then the mid-season finale happened, and oh my god, wow, and that's how you end half a season, and then from there on it goes on to what I feel The Walking Dead should be. It's not them just sitting around camping in a little building and little problems going on, it's them on the road, and they're coming across all these different characters and the problems, and the episodes, they are horrible, like they're pretty depressing, and it's what it should be, I think, and I just loved every minute of it, except from when it was depressing. So number 1, let's obviously pick the obvious one. Game of Thrones Season 4. I don't have Season 4 yet because it's not out yet. This season is perhaps the best season ever created. Pretty much on the edge of my seat for every episode. It was getting really intense. All the characters were dropping like flies, and every episode there was a death, and it just became so interesting and so intense, and all the events that kept on unfolding, and the emotional heart behind it. And I really thought that the show would suffer after the events of the Red Wedding, what happened. But no, it got better. I don't know how that's possible, considering the characters in the Red Wedding were some of my favourite characters, and it just got better without them. So yeah, it's really worth the watch. Without a doubt, just watch from season 1, and oh my god, when you get to this season, you probably have the thing just constantly on. You won't be able to get up or anything, you'll just be watching it all day. So there we go, that was my top 10 seasons of the year. What was yours? Comment down below, that's the usual. Next up will be the top 5 worst films of the year. So stay tuned for that. Great, I've said stay tuned again, never mind. So as always, remember to like and subscribe.